Texas League Baseball is next. And a good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas. And now, here is the star of the show, the one, the only, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob, and hello, everybody. We welcome you into the Texas League live broadcast on this Tuesday evening. We're getting set for the first game of 6 against the visiting St. Louis Cardinals AA team, the visiting Springfield Cardinals, and your Padres AA team, your San Antonio Missions. Well, I've got to say, we welcome everybody into our broadcast, and especially here on YouTube Live, as we get ready for the Taco Day, the first one of August, and so far pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we're about ready to get right after it, and so far, let's get to it. We welcome you to the Missions pregame show. I'm also joined in the booth by my partner, longtime friend Bob. Good evening, Bob. Good evening, John. How are you? Doing good. Well, what a week we had in Frisco. Boy, that was a pretty good week. They won at least a couple, lost a lot, but evidently they came back and took the final game there in Frisco. And so far, Missions doing really, really good. Still holding on first place. And so far, we'll look at the Texas League standings. And so far, Bob will go ahead and get that going for us. But anyway, yes, San Antonio doing pretty good. You're looking at the first two teams that are in first place right now. Springfield at 64-38, San Antonio at 59-42. And so far, continuing onward, the Frisco Rough Riders hold the second place position along with the Arkansas Travelers. Amarillo and Wichita holding third place. Midland and Northwest Arkansas in fourth. And Corpus Christi and Tulsa down in last place. Well, anyway, we are fixing to unveil something that y'all have all been waiting for. And so far, drum roll, please. And there you have it. We have the 2026 schedule ready to be unveiled. And so far, we're going to get started with that. Well, we are in the first week of April. That is starting off the season, the 2nd through the 4th. And I'm talking about April 2nd through the 4th. We are up in Tulsa. We are back on April 7th through the 12th as we take on Corpus Christi. April 14th through the 19th, we're at Midland. April 21st through 26th, taking on Amarillo here at home. April 28th, May 3rd, we're at Tulsa. And then San Antonio starting a 12-game homestand. May 5th through the 10th, our first 6 games against Midland for the year. May 12th through the 17th, we take on Wichita. May 19th through the 24th, we're at Frisco. May 26th through the 31st, we're versing off Corpus Christi at home. June 2nd through the 7th, we're at Wichita. June 9th through the 14th versus Frisco. We are 12 games on the road starting June 16th through the 28th. June 16th through the 21st, we're at Corpus. 8th, we're up in Arkansas, taking on the Arkansas Travelers. June 30th through July 5th, we're back home taking on Amarillo. July 7th through the 12th, we're at Midland. And so far, that will pretty much conclude the first half of 2026. Second half begins with a 9-game homestand, leading off 3 against Corpus Christi, starting July 17th through the 19th. We're continuing our homestand July 21st through the 26th as we take on the visiting Frisco Rough Riders. July 28th through August 2nd, we're up in Amarillo. August 4th through the 9th, we take on the visiting Springfield Cardinals after that. August 11th through the 16th, we're at Frisco. August 18th through the 23rd, taking on Northwest Arkansas. August 25th through the 30th, we're at Springfield. And then September 1st through the 6th, our last home game of 6 against the visiting Midland Rockhounds. And then we close out the regular season September 8th through the 13th there at Amarillo. And yeah, so far, we definitely do not play Tulsa and Arkansas here in San Antonio next year. And gotta say, that is unveiling the 2026 schedule for the San Antonio Missions for next year. And so far, that kind of is upsetting. Yeah, I got to say, John, I know how much those two teams really mean to you, and hopefully they'll come down and get something going, but that would be pretty nice. Yeah, I got to say, Bob, it would be. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and present to you the West Creek Trail Ride starting lineups. First for the visiting Springfield Cardinals. Leading off in shortstop is J.J. Weatherholt. He'll lead off first for Springfield. Darlan Moquete will be the left fielder. He'll bat second for Springfield. Moquete at left. Batting third, Chase Davis is in right field for Springfield. Davis in right. Third baseman, Trey Page bats fourth for Springfield. Page at third. Blaze Jordan will be the first baseman. He'll bat fifth. Jordan at first. Zach Levinson, the designated hitter, will bat sixth for the Cardinals. Levinson, the DH. Leonardo Bernal will be the catcher. He'll bat seventh for Springfield. Bernal catching. Ramon Mendoza will bat eighth in the Springfield order. He'll be second baseman for the Cardinals here tonight. Mendoza as second. Juan Ben Cho will be in center field. He'll bat ninth as he rounds out the batting order for the Springfield Cardinals. On the hill, Austin Love. Love, night starting pitcher for Springfield. Now the starting lineup for your San Antonio Missions. Leading off in left field, Albert Fabian. Fabian in left. Brandon Valenzuela will be the catcher. Valenzuela catching. Guy Roberts being in center field. He'll bat third. Roberts in center. Marcos Castañon being in first base. He'll bat fourth for San Antonio. Castañon at first. Guy Murphy batting fifth for San Antonio. Murphy batting fifth. Batting sixth is the designated hitter Cole Roederer. Roederer, the DH. Batting seventh at third base is Kyle Fountain. Fountain at third. Batting eighth, Ripken Reyes is at second base. Reyes at second. Batting ninth, rounding out the batting order, is Yendry Rojas. He'll be in shortstop, but usually playing at third base. And tonight he'll be short for San Antonio. And on San Antonio starter, Jagger Haynes will get the call for the Missions here this evening. That's your starting lineups presented by our friends there at West Creek. Thank you all so much. And our proud sponsors for Missions Baseball. where you could go out and have a good time and enjoy horseback riding. And out in the woodlands, it's always a good thing. Gotta say, John, absolutely right about that. And nothing beats a pretty good day than going out for a horseback ride. I gotta agree. Well, anyway, we're starting to get ball clubs going. Amarillo at Midland. They are starting to go bottom of the first inning. Amarillo leading 2-0. Tulsa getting their first run across right now. It's the Tulsa Drillers and Corpus Christi Hooks there at Bayfront Park. The Drillers have a 1-0 advantage against Corpus Christi, top of the second inning, so pretty good right there. Frisco and Arkansas, no score, top of the second inning. Northwest Arkansas and Wichita fixing to go. Springfield and San Antonio about ready to play here tonight. And so far, our broadcasts coming at you live here in South Texas at Wolf Stadium here in this one. Well, anyway, we're about scheduled for a 7:05 first pitch. And yes, we will get going for that. Well, anyway, stay with us. We are going to be right back on our Missions pregame show. And as we get set for the first pitch at 7:05 against the visiting Springfield Cardinals, going to be a pretty good night tonight as we have our 6-game homestand. Then after this one, we'll head to Tulsa for a 6-game there, DCJ Field. Then coming back home, taking on the Amarillo Sod Poodles. Then it's back up to Frisco. They take on the Frisco Rough Riders there at Statesman's Park. And then we are back home for one more homestand left of 2025. Versing off the Corpus Christi Hooks in that one. And then we're up in Springfield as we wrap up the regular season. And so far, we're going to congratulate our 2025 South Division and North Division playoff rounders, as we'll have the first 4 teams that will advance into the playoffs, while the remainder 6 are eliminated from competition. And so far, pretty good on that as well. I can't wait for that. We'll have plenty more baseball, and so far we unveiled our 2026 baseball season schedule. We're starting April 2nd through the 4th at Tulsa, and then back home for Corpus Christi right after that, which that's going to be pretty good. Believe you or me, it will be a pretty good night thus far. Well, anyway, just about set to go as our umpiring crew now coming out on the field. And so far, we're just super excited. It's going to be a pretty good night. First North Division team since Wichita and Northwest Arkansas, which they came down earlier. Evidently, looking at those two teams, they started lead off first. Northwest Arkansas came April 15th through the 20th. And then Wichita, May 20th through the 25th. Once we got back from Midland. And then it was taking on another North Division team, but not here in San Antonio. We go up to All-American Ballpark, taking on the Arkansas Travelers right after that. But anyway, yes, this is the third and final North Division team coming to San Antonio for the year. Springfield evidently will be the last North Division team that will travel to the Alamo City for 2025. And so far, pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we're going to be right back as our umpiring crew is coming out and they're about ready to exchange the lineup cards. So far, we are set to go for the top of the first inning for Springfield, and we're going to have a pretty good night. Just believe it or not, we're going to have a good one. So we're back here for Texas League Baseball here in San Antonio, Texas, as our first game against Springfield about ready to go. So we'll be right back as we bring you this broadcast. This one brought to you in part by our friends there at West Creek Trail Rides, our proud sponsor of Missions Baseball. All right, so national anthem has been played, and so far we are just about ready to take on Springfield for this evening's contest. Got a good look at downtown San Antonio on this nice, hot first homestand of August, and so far pretty good for August 5th. Well, anyway, there we have it, our two teams. First places in the North and South divisions. Coming out now to get things started for us here this evening.
And yo, San Antonio Mission.
All right, so our starter tonight is a left-hander, Jagger Haynes. Well, I got to say, John, at 94, that four-seam fastball slider and a changeup comes in, and so far he's about set to go for San Antonio here this evening. And so far, we're about set to go.
Leading off for Springfield, the shortstop.
The shortstop, J.J. Weatherholt, steps in for Springfield as we are about ready to go. But evidently he's going to take on a few warm-up tosses as we get ready to take on the Cardinals. And yep, we are just moments away from that first pitch. So anyway, leading off for Springfield, J.J. Weatherholt, the shortstop. And yep, we are ready to get things going. Here we go, top of the first inning for Springfield. And let's play some baseball. That one's got high in the air, up to right field. Kai Murphy getting after it right near the warning track, shy of the yellow foul pole. And that is out number one. And that's going to bring in Darlin Moquete as he comes up next for Springfield. One away in the top of the first inning for the Cardinals, as that is an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Game time temperature 94 degrees here at first pitch. Partly cloudy evening. Fans coming in enjoying a baseball game on this first Taco Tuesday. That's hit to Rojas in short. And they'll give it to Castañon there at first. And so far, pretty good on that. Our original Mission lineups, I would say the other players are off for the night, but evidently doing so well at Frisco, getting that 6-2 final there at Statesman's Park, which that was pretty good. Third batter of the evening for Springfield, Chase Davis, as he comes in, takes an inside strike. And the count now at 0-1. Springfield wearing their red and grays, Missions in their home white uniforms. Pretty good on that. The 0-1. That one's got high in the air up to center field Roberts. And that's going to do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for Springfield. We head to the bottom of the first. San Antonio, it's no score through the top half as the Missions come to bat right after these messages. Now set to go for the bottom of the first inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, hold your horses there, Bob. Well, tomorrow evening we are saluting those in uniform as we get things going with Military Appreciation Night Wednesday here at the ballpark, where everybody that has joined forces in Army, Navy, and any branch of military service is welcome into the ball game free of charge. That is showing proof of also your members, your military ID, and coming in to the ball game absolutely free. You can sit wherever you want. Well, we are leading off the bottom of the first inning for San Antonio. Our starter for the Cardinals, Austin Love, will get the start. A four-seam slider, changeup, and a two-seam fastball. Bob, I got to say, for this starter, he's got a pretty good chance of getting up into St. Louis and so far going to Memphis first, because that's their AAA team there in Tennessee. That one taken down and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes to the leadoff batter for San Antonio, left fielder Albert Fabian. Fabian straight away comes in, takes an inside strike. The count now at 1-1. Just absolutely love baseball evenings, and yes, we do have 2 more homestands after the Cardinals leave here. We'll have Amarillo and Corpus Christi coming to town for at least the last couple of times for the year. That's a line drive up to center field, a base hit. Boy, good start to the leadoff batter for Fabian as he gets on. That'll bring up Brandon Valenzuela, the catcher. So far, Ethan Salas, our normal catcher, is out on injury leave. Evidently, we took on our last 6 game of the year against Midland, and the starter had hit him in the arm and, yeah, probably could have broken his arm. That was a fastball coming right to him. Yeah, I got to say, John, and that 98-mile-an-hour fastball is no laughing matter. Yeah, I got to say, Bob, you're probably right about that. 2 balls and no strikes, runner at first. Brandon Valenzuela up now for San Antonio. That one down and outside, and now make it a 3 count. 3-0, and now Kai Roberts getting ready to come in for San Antonio. That's an inside strike, and the count now 3-1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there and up to short. And there's one down.
Batting third, the center fielder, number 36.
And that'll bring up the center fielder, Kai Roberts. So out there on the lineup cards, he does play center field. Joshua Mears off tonight. That is in for a strike. The count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to the center fielder, Roberts. That one lofted high in the air and out of play, and that will drift foul. The count now 0-2. Looking at 1 North and 1 South Division teams that are first place in their leagues. And that is right there. Called third strike and backwards K for Austin Love. And they're 2 down. First baseman Marcos Castañon coming in as he takes an inside strike. And the count now at 0-1. Sunday's finale game there in Frisco. Missions had a 6-2 victory against the Frisco Rough Riders during that last week in their ball game. And that one's going to be lofted deep. That is high, right off the wall, gone. And Marcos Castañon struck first 2 in the ball game. And that was called a power hitter right there. And they will take a 2-0 lead. Springfield now having the home run right there. Ty Murphy coming in. He's the 5-hole batter. San Antonio taking a early 2-0 lead. Springfield trailing the 2. Bottom of the first inning for the Missions, and that's going to be in for a code ball. Or should I say 1 ball, 1 strike there. Change up the count now at 1-2.
2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
That's ball 2.
And that's ball 2. That'll even things up. And the pitch. That is right there. Up the middle. Right past the pitcher. Right to second. Right to first. They get him. But Marcos Castañon gets a 2-run shot on 1 hit. And that will pretty much put that one out of reach. So we head to the second inning. San Antonio leading this one 2-0. Trey Page, Jordan, and Levinson will lead it off for the top of the Springfield second. San Antonio leading this game 2-0 as we end 1. Now set to go for the top of the second inning for Springfield right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up the next batter up, Trey Page. 4, 5, and 6 due up against Jagger Haynes for the top of the second inning for Springfield. Wind up and the pitch. That's an inside strike. And the count now 0-1. San Antonio 2-0 here against the Cardinals. And the 0-1. That one right there, gloved by the third baseman, caught for the out. And there's one down.
The first baseman, Blaze Jordan.
First baseman, Blaze Jordan, coming up now. Jordan ready to go. The windup and the pitch. And that's going to be fouled off. The count now at 0-1. They'll give you ball clubs. Next door, Corpus Christi taking on Tulsa there at Bayfront Park. Midland versing off Amarillo there at Franco Park. Frisco at Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas at Wichita, and Springfield at San Antonio, which that is pretty good. Here's the pitch. Right after, that's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 strikes.
Pretty good right there. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And he goes down on strikes.
Batting 6, the designated hitter.
Designated hitter is Zach Levinson. As he comes up next, 2 out, nobody on. Could be another 1-2-3 inning right there, Bob.
Well, I gotta say, John, I think it might be, but we don't know. They could get a base hit and they could extend this inning
To maybe 1 or 2 more batters. Would have to wait and watch for sure. Right there, swing and a miss. Change up.
0-2 is the
Get him
count.
out full and clashed for that strike. And the pitch right there. Hit the third baseman Fountain. Right there to Castañon, and he's got him. And that will be another 1-2-3 for Springfield. No runs, hits, or errors for the Cardinals as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. San Antonio leading 2-0 as we head to the bottom of 2 in this one. Cole Roederer, Fountain, and Reyes will lead it off. Bottom of 2 coming up for the Missions. Got set to go for the bottom of 2 right now for the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Here is the designated hitter, Cole Roederer. Should we lead off the bottom half of the second inning? Still a San Antonio early lead, 2-0 here in this first of a 6-game set against Springfield. 2.5 already. By golly, this game is underway and getting going. That one right there, line drive, and that'll get down a base hit. So Cole Roederer comes out, gets a base hit single.
Third baseman, number 43.
And we look at where that one was, and yep, that was right in the line. So no doubt about that. The third baseman, Cale Fountain, taking the place of tonight's third baseman, which is always out there. Yep, he's out somewhere else, giving Cale Fountain a
Ball. That's inside.
good chance for the hot corner. Yeah, that is for sure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first, nobody out. Fountain to the plate now for San Antonio. That's going to be lofted. That is deep. High in the air near the warning track. Gets the play. And there is out number 1.
Batting 8, the second baseman, Ripken Reyes.
Well, that'll bring up Ripken Reyes. The 8-hole batter coming in a rehab assignment from San Diego. Evidently about ready to work up his AA level, going from San Antonio to AAA El Paso. Right there, the second for one, a jump throw, got him. And that is the inning in the books. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on. And we played 2 innings already. San Antonio leading this game 2-0 as we head to the third for Springfield. So about set to go is Leonardo Bernal, Mendoza, and Cho will follow in from behind as we get set for the third for Springfield. And it's a 2-0 ball game here in San Antonio on this Tuesday evening. We'll be right back with our broadcast. Now set to go for the third inning for Springfield right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up first Leonardo Bernal. Leading it off for Springfield, top of the third inning. As we're set to go. Here's the pitch to him, swing and a miss. And we are underway of inning number 3. No balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, 7-8-9 due up against Jagger Haynes. And the pitch. That is right there. And that's going to get down for a base hit. And that'll be a no-out single for Bernal as he gets on base for Springfield. And that'll bring up first hand Ramon Mendoza. It is now 8-9-1. Coming up for Springfield. In for a cold strike. The count now 0-1 as the Cardinals have their tie-up runner here at the plate. No balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. That's right there. Now to play, foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes to count, and the pitch. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, that's getting down. And that's going to plate the first run on an RBI double. And now Springfield trailing this game by 1-2. San Antonio still holding on a 1-run lead. And it's 2-1 to score for the Missions. Here is Juan Ben Cho. Got a free agency. He is from Okinawa, Japan. As he was drafted here, and so far pretty good. So we got a Tokyo native. Oh, it would be a Japan native. Oh, okay. That one fouled off. The count now at 0-2. So far pretty good. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And there's one down, but still the tying run at second base. Well, we'll go back to the Springfield batting order. Here is J.J. Weatherholt. Weatherholt coming in, number 32 on second base for Springfield as he's in scoring position. Gotta say, be a pretty good opportunity of stretching this lead into a tight ball game for the Cardinals. And that's going to be lofted. That is deep right there, base of the wall. And that's going to bring in the tying run on an RBI double by J.J. Weatherholt. We're now tied 2-2. Springfield and San Antonio tied 2-2 in this game. Boy, they're going to try to plan the attack here because now that'll bring in Darlin Mulcahy. And that is out of play. The count now at 0-1, fouled off. See, Springfield is not letting San Antonio get away with 2 runs, but that was a 2-run shot by one of the batters. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. The count now at 0-2. 2 runs already in this home top of the third inning. And that is a changeup swung on and missed. And that is out number 2.
The batter, the right fielder, Chase Davis.
Well, that'll bring in the right fielder, Chase Davis. As he comes in and fouled that one off. The count now at 0-1. 2-out runner at second. 2-2 tie for both of these sides. Looking in is Haynes, the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be right there, line drive, and that's going to get down extra bases. And that'll bring in another RBI double And Springfield now taking the lead. And now look at it.
Now batting.
That'll
Third
put the
baseman,
runner at
Trey
third.
Hayes.
And that's going to bring in Trey Page. As he comes in, Cardinals have the upper hand. Now a Springfield lead 3-2 against San Antonio, but another base hit would put them up to 4-2 if they get the benefit of the doubt of getting that base hit going. Page coming in, the windup and the kicks, that's right there, fouled off. And the count now 0-2. Page is 0 for 1. He's had 15 home runs for Springfield this year with pretty good record numbers. And the 0-2 right there out of play is still foul. He's got a 1.385 ERA and so far a good one right there. Springfield will hopefully draft him up to AAA Memphis before too long. And that's going to be hit to short, the second baseman Reyes, right to Castellon, and that ends the inning. Well, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on for Springfield. We head to the bottom of the third. Springfield leading this one 3-2. So back here is Yendry Rojas will lead it off. We come back for the bottom half of the third inning for San Antonio when we get back from our break. about ready to start the bottom of the third right now for the Missions Baseball Network. Well, 9-1-2, Yindri Rojas laying it off for the bottom of the third against the Springfield starter, Austin Love. 1 ball, no strikes to him as he comes in and hits that one weakly on the ground, jumps rows, right in time, gets him by a step, and that is out number 1. Albert Fabian coming in now, the left fielder. We'll get going for the top of the lineup for San Antonio here this evening. And that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. 1-for-1 single by Fabian tonight. And pitch. That one is the inside, and the count now at 1-1. Wind up and the pitch. That's going to be lofted high in the air, and that will be out of play. Count now 1-2. Well, he's got to level that out a little bit, John. Yeah, he sure does. That one's got high in the air up to center, moving under it the center fielder. And he puts that one in contempt in the pocket, and that will be out number 2. Brandon Valenzuela coming in. Geez, and 2 more months left of this baseball. San Antonio's only remainder teams is Springfield, Tulsa, Amarillo, Corpus Christi, and finishing off the regular season, they're in Springfield. And then we are finally finished. Baseball season will be completed. That one's right there. Line drive, and that'll get down base hit. Going to first, going to second. Valenzuela's got a Whataburger double. And right there, pretty good line drive. And so far, Whataburger served hot and fresh 24/7 for all people of San Antonio. They're also proud sponsors of our missions. You know, August 8th is their anniversary, 1950 to 2025, celebrating 75 years of business, which that is pretty good. Get 75-cent hamburgers with your choice of a medium fry or onion ring, and it's courtesy of your drink, which that is a tea or Dr. Pepper or whatever, but you go with what you go with. Just making me hungry right there, John. Yeah, probably am. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kai Roberts, and that is outside the count now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Boy, we got Kai Roberts and Kai Murphy. That's pretty good. And right outside, the count now 3-1. Marcos Castañon waiting on deck on a 3-1 count. Here's the last time hit the 2-run shot for San Antonio during the bottom half of the first. The pitch. That one high fly in the air up to left field. And that will pretty much do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors in, 1 left for San Antonio. We head to the 4th, and Springfield leading this one 3-2. Jordan Levison and Bernal will lead it for the 4th for the Cardinals when we come back. Springfield leading 3-2 as we head to the 4th. Top of the fourth inning for Springfield right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, here is Blaze Jordan, 5'6", due up against Jagger Hanks. And the windup right there, and now to play. The count now 0-1. Cardinals trying to find a good thing to lead this ball game, which they are right now. That will be fouled off. The count now 0-2. Well, so far the Springfield Cardinals will be coming back to San Antonio next year, starting August 4th through the 9th, and then our road travel in Frisco. And then we are back August 18th through the 23rd to take on Northwest Arkansas. So far, 3 North Division teams that come in 2026 is Wichita, Springfield, and Northwest Arkansas. And evidently, Arkansas and Tulsa does not come to San Antonio. As I said in the start of our broadcast, that is right there. Hit the second baseman, Reyes. Flip to first base, Castañon. And that is
Now
one down.
The designated hitter, Zach Levinson.
The designated hitter is Zach Levinson as he comes in, ready to go for Springfield here tonight. And the windup and the pitch right there and in for a strike. The count now 0-1. So far, our proud sponsors tonight is West Creek Trail Rides, our proud sponsor. If you love horseback riding, just go out, visit them.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Don't forget to set up your reservation as they get ready for horseback riding. And don't forget that
Ball.
Lana is the owner.
2 strikes, the count.
And evidently, you can call her to book at 210-616-6585. That is 210-616-6585
Nope. 2 strikes.
to book your reservation online. Here's the 2-2. And that one right there now to play, and that will go foul. So still a 2-2 count, 1 away, nobody on for Springfield. Cardinals trying to extend their lead, and that's going to be bashed up to the left field wall. And Fabian running, hit the wall, and it was caught to the base. And that'll bring up the 7-hole hitter, Leonardo Bernal. And the slow motion shows you Fabian, boy, pretty good right there as he comes in and gets that one. Bernal stepping in is 1 for 1 here tonight for the Cardinals, and so far that is a inside strike. The count now at 0-1. So far, give you scores. Wichita leading Northwest Arkansas 4-0. Springfield leading San Antonio 3-2. Arkansas leading Frisco 3-0 there at All-American Ballpark. Corpus Christi leading 4-1 against next-door neighbor rival against Springfield, Tulsa. Amarillo leading 2-1 against Midland, which that is pretty good. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that is out number 3. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Springfield. 4.5. Cardinals lead it 3-2. So back here as Castañon, Murphy, and Roederer will lead it off with a bottom of 4 when we come back. About set to go for the bottom of 4 for San Antonio. Right now, the Mission's Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Marcos Castañon leading it off, the first baseman. Batting fourth in the lineup here in the bottom of 4. And right there in the inside strike. And the count now 0-1. That one is out of play. The count now 0-2. Corpus Christi having a lead against Tulsa 4-1. Pretty good there at Bayfront Park.
2 strikes.
Well, evidently San Antonio does not go back to Bayfront, not till next year, 2026. And that's going to be right there, line drive, and he drops it right there. Bounces off his glove, and that'll go down for a base hit.
Number 1, Kai.
Boy, he could have had a double on top of that if he would have kept on going, but instead he plays it safe as he had a single. Yeah, I got to say, John, always better to play it safe. Now the tying run at first base here is Kai Murphy. And the pitch is outside slider. The countdown 1 ball, no strikes. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out the last time up when he came in. One ball, no strikes. That one lofted. That's deep, high in the air up to left field. And that will be out number 1. And so far pretty good.
Now batting.
The base runner still hanging on.
Rotor.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, who is a 1 for 1 single last time up. So far, starting to see those big orange hue clouds. Pretty good ones as we saw in Midland and Amarillo this year, which that was pretty good. That one right there, that is 1, and that is 2, and that will be a double play to end the inning. Well, no runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left on for San Antonio, and we're on to the 5th. Springfield leading 3-2. As we head to the 5th, Ramon Mendoza will be in. Joe and Weatherholt will be in for Springfield when we come back. About set to go for the top of the fifth inning for Springfield. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, leading it off, Ramon Mendoza will step it up for Springfield, top of the fifth. As that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Welcome back into our broadcast. I'm John Baker alongside with my partner and friend, Bob. And welcome, Bob, back to our broadcast. Thank you, John, and always you as well. Boy, you sound like that guy from Frisco. What was his name? How should I know? Right there, that's a strikeout. And here is Juan Ben Cho. The Tokyo native coming to the Texas League and the great state of Texas overseas. Wind up and pitch right there, swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. Starting to get some pretty good skies lightening up here. And the pitch, that's a slider outside. The count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, sweet is swing and a miss. And there's another K.
The shortstop, J.J. Weatherholt.
And that'll bring us up to the top of the Springfield batting order. Here is J.J. Weatherholt. Weatherholt coming in, ready to go. The pitch, swing and a miss right there. The count now 0-1. Well, the end of this month, we have college football. And yes, we love how much my parents love all about that. Oh, what teams do they like there, John? Well, they like Oklahoma State, or Oklahoma University. They like Texas A&M. They like Florida State, Michigan State, Oregon State. They love the state of college football. But we'll say they love that type of sport like nothing else. They don't like NFL, right? Sure. No. My family has, and no, we'll talk about that as we come back. The left fielder, Fabian, will take that out. And there is out number 3. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left going for Springfield. We head now 5.5. And the Cardinals lead this one 3-2. Cal Fountain, Reyes, and Rojas will lead it off when we come back for the bottom of 5 here for San Antonio right after this. Now set to go for the bottom of the fifth right now, the Mission Baseball Network. Will Cal Fountain, the third baseman, coming in as we're set to go. And boy, look at that one. He's got one. It is gone. And we are tied up once again as Mission's third baseman, Cal Fountain, puts that one out of reach.
Man, pretty good right there, John. And now there's nothing to worry about as there's a lot of baseball left for San Antonio to take this one tonight.
Yeah, for sure, Bob. Well, evidently they'll see about that. Well, here is the second baseman, Ripken Reyes, as he strides in, takes an inside for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, my parents, at the end of this month, would be in the living room watching the TV. Postseason on college football would commence at the end of the month, which still the Texas League still goes. I mean, they're in their final weeks. Well, with Tulsa being next week and Amarillo,
Now batting, the shortstop.
and then Frisco being the end of the month. And then the final homestand against Corpus Christi after that. And then putting it back into Springfield where we wrap up our regular season. That one's got high in the air up to the left fielder. And that is out number 2.
The left fielder, number
April
30,
2nd, 2026 is when we start on the road. Could be colder weather there in Oklahoma, right, Bob?
But I gotta say, John, it might be, but evidently
Could be hot weather. Yeah, probably. That one's got high in the air. And that one looks to hit the wall, and right there makes the play. And that will do it. But Cal Fountain will get a home run right there. A run on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 6th inning coming up, and we're tied at 3. We're back here as Darlin, Moquete, Davis, and Cage will come Now set to go for the top of the sixth inning for Springfield right here in the Missions Baseball Network. Darlin Moquete coming in now for Springfield, top of the sixth as we're set to go, and that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Back to this broadcast. Our proud sponsor is West Creek Trail Rides, Whataburger, Henry's Stuffy Tacos, Regal Cinema as well. We never forget them. Just pretty good movies. Get a gift card for a loved one if they want to go out and watch a movie for their birthday, which that's a pretty good gift, I would say. Yeah, I gotta say, John, my mom would always get me something like that on my birthday. Right there, and that is out number one, caught by the left fielder, Fabian. So, yeah, that's pretty nice there, Bob. Yeah, I gotta say it is. Chase Davis coming in is 1 for 2 of the evening. Sixth inning, going pretty good. And that's going to be right there, line drive, and that's going to get through for extra bases. Roberts getting up there to shallow right field, and that looks like it's going to be a one-out triple. And Davis getting to third. And Springfield having the tie-breaking run, just ready to get going there. Boy, 90 feet away would put that other run in to score. That would untie the ball game for sure. And did he hold up? Slider? Nope. Went down 1 ball and no strikes. Trey Page coming up for the Cardinals. So, yeah, pretty long season, if I do say so, Bob. I mean, we've pretty much go through 168 games a year, with 69 of them being our home, 69 being our road games. But evidently, we do have our last 2 months of baseball. Then October will be the start of Pumpkin Patch, which that will be pretty good as well. Now, I got to say, John, you told me that you were out there at the farm with your partner Pecani, and y'all filmed a series. Yep. And even though we do have a pretty good time doing that and stuff, and so far just spend time with my little boy. Here's the 3-1. And that one fouled off. The count now 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away, 1 on. Runner at third trying to come in to score. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be right there, high in the air, and that looks like it's not going to be enough. And they'll pull him straight away. And that's going to get back to the backstop. And the run is in to score, and that will be a wild pitch on an error. And Springfield now taking the lead. It's now 4-3. And, yeah, that was a big mistake there, as now the Cardinals up 4-3 against San Antonio, which that right there is pretty good for them. That one hit high in the air. Second baseman Reyes will catch that one, and that will do for the inning is over. Well, 1 run comes in on an RBI triple and an error. And we now hit bottom of the 6th inning. Springfield leading 4-3. And we'll have a new Springfield reliever coming up when we come back for the bottom of the 6th inning here in San Antonio. We're back for more right after this. about ready to go for the bottom of the sixth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network.
Number 22.
Well, that'll bring up Frank Ilsalt as he'll come in to pitch in relief. Ilsalt now pitching for Springfield here in relief at the bottom of inning number 6.
The catcher,
Brendan Valenzuela, the catcher, is 1 for 2 with double here in this one. Wind up and the pitch. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, base hit to right. And Valenzuela gets on. Which that right there is pretty good.
Now batting, number 36.
So yeah, I bet all of us are ready for getting off of baseball season, getting ready to have a winter vacation after this. Yeah, I gotta say, John, and all of our baseball teams would be out, going back home to their families, celebrating Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then spending the rest of this New Year being off and then getting ready for spring training in March. Regular season starts in April, which everybody knows that'll be the second week starting next year. San Antonio starts 3 games in Tulsa. Then they'll have that Sunday and Monday being off. The 7th is coming back home and taking on Corpus Christi right after that. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off. The count now at 0-2. We waited for a big long time for this new schedule to come out. And so far that's going to get down. Line drive. That's a base hit. So far pretty good on that. Well, hopefully the Frisco Rough Riders got their schedule out, which we would have to see. Well, evidently there is no word on the Rough Riders' schedule.
0-1's the count.
Well, that'll bring in Marcos Castañon, who is a 2 for 2 RBI with the home run that he had earlier. So evidently pretty good on that. That's right there in the end. And the count now at 0-2. 2-1, nobody out for Marcos Castañon. They're trying to score in pretty good runs. And the pitch, that is right there. That's a changeup, swung on and missed. And he's down on strikes.
The right fielder, number 1, Kai Murphy.
Well, that'll bring up the next batter up, Kai Murphy. Murphy coming in, ready to go, takes a strike. And that's the count now at 0-1. 8:38 on this evening, and so far it is a pretty good one. That is right there now to play. The count now at 0-2. Well, Military Appreciation Night starting tomorrow. Thursday and Friday night games. Flying Chanclas return to the field, taking on Springfield, and so far series continues Saturday. Have our drone show because evidently with hot and dry temperatures and no rain, then there will be a drone show. Series will conclude Sunday evening, then Monday will be our road travel as we head to Tulsa. 6 games only through 2025. Next year it'll be 9 games with the Tulsa Drillers. Here's the 0-1. That one fouled off. The count now at 0-2. So 2-1-2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Springfield leading 4-3, but tying run up there at second base. And that's going to be a line drive. And here comes the runner. And they don't get him. And that's going to be an RBI double. And third time around, we are tied up once again. Wouldn't it be third time's the charm, John? Yeah, you're probably right. Was that an old saying?
Yeah, it was an old saying way back then.
You're funny. Well, Valenzuela comes in and scores in as a fourth run, and that'll bring up Cale Fountain, the third baseman,
That's out.
covering in for the other third baseman. 1 for 2 solo home run in the fifth inning. Evidently Military Appreciation Night tomorrow, and we salute those in uniform.
That's ball 2.
And right there, 2 balls and no strikes. And asking for a new baseball right there as he gets one from home plate umpire Jeff Andrews. Andrews started in last year
2-1.
for the Texas League umpires. He's one of the best home plate umpires ever known to man to come in to call balls and strikes. And that's going to be right there, line drive. That's going to be a base hit. And that will bring in 2 more runs in to score. And San Antonio takes the lead. It's now 6-4. Boy, a 2-out, 2-run single comes in, and boy, Cale Fountain gets in and gets something going for San Antonio. Now time is called as here comes the manager for Springfield. And that will pretty much do for the starter. Giving up 6 runs, and not a good night for him as he'll try to put this behind him.
Number 30.
Leonardo Taveras is coming in for Springfield as he'll be the next reliever coming for the Springfield Cardinals. Pretty good on that, and they just need one more out to get out of this. And here is second baseman Rifkin Reyes as he comes in. That ball is down and outside, and the count now 1-0. 5 games left here with Springfield. The time that they come to San Antonio is right now, and 2 North Division teams, Springfield and Tulsa. And that one's going to be crushed. That one's high. That one's deep. Watch it go, and that is gone. And there is 8-4 on that reservoir. And San Antonio comes in from behind and puts another 2. And now it's 8-4 San Antonio against the Springfield Cardinals. Man, I got to say, John, they're doing pretty good. Yeah, they are. They scored in 5 in this half inning. Springfield now leading or trailing by 4. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, fair ball, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Yendry Rojas coming in, and that is a 2-out double, I should say, and pretty good. Boy, Yendry Rojas usually playing the hot corner on every ball game, but evidently now he is in shortstop for San Antonio tonight. Leadoff batter Albert Fabian coming in to fray. San Antonio 8, Springfield 4 in this ball game as we're down to bottom of the 6th inning. It's a pretty good ball game, right, Bob?
Got to say, John, absolutely right. And San Antonio can easily win their 60th if they get lucky.
And that's going to be right there. Line drive. That is a base hit. Run number 9 comes. And the Missions have a 9-4 lead in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Springfield, to get back in this one, they would have to get back all of them runs that they just gave up and stuff.
Yeah, I got to agree, Bob. Probably a lot of fans there in Springfield are not happy that they seen San Antonio strike for 5 or 6 of these runs. And, yeah, so far they are just really getting after them. 6-run, 6th inning here in the bottom of 6. And that's outside the count now at 1-1. 2 outs and runner at first on this one.
Nope,
That is outside the count. I mean, if you only look at it, man, they're just getting down in there. And now the count now 2-2. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. That is caught for the out. And that will pretty much do it. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. 1 left for San Antonio. We head to the 7th inning. And those San Antonio Missions lead it against Springfield 9-4 as we go to the 7th inning right after these commercial messages. Zach Levinson will lead it off. Bernal and Mendoza will lead it for Springfield when we come back. About ready for the 7th inning, straight ahead, right on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob. Zach Levinson coming in. Bernal and Mendoza as well. 6, 7, and 8 due up against Jagger Hanks. Hanks coming in for the 7th inning, and so far, well, time is getting ready to go as 2 warm-uppers are getting ready to go. Well, we're going to have Jared Collar coming in now as he will be getting ready for the relief position of the San Antonio top of the 7th inning. Well, anyway, give you final scores as we get the warm-up going. Corpus Christi leading 7-3 against Tulsa. Top of the 9th inning there at Bayfront Park. Amarillo leading Midland 6-2. Arkansas leading Frisco 3-0. Wichita leading the Northwest Arkansas Natural 6-5. San Antonio leading 8-4 against Springfield, and so far pretty good ball game here in this one. Kolar now pitching for San Antonio as he's now underway of his relief pitching. So far, Bob, I will say this broadcast going pretty good as getting in for San Antonio. So far, I cannot wait until it's winter vacation time, you know. Going to have a nice long break, and so far I'm just super excited for that. I feel kind of tired after a long while, but knowing we've got 5 or 6 more weeks of this baseball game going. Yeah, I got to say, John, just hang in there, and the off season is on its way before we know it. Yeah, that is for sure. Well, anyway, our proud sponsors tonight is West Creek Trail Rides, Whataburger, and so many others here in the Texas League here in South Texas. Here's pretty much going down to his last pitch right there. So far, we are back. Jared Collar getting ready to go. 5-run ball game for San Antonio here in this one. That one down and outside. It's count now 1-1. Here's the pitch, 1-1. And look out, boy, that was right behind his back. And the count now at 2-1. Boy, that one nearly got away and hit him. Yeah, almost did. That one right there to first baseman Castañon, and that is out number 1.
The batter, the catcher.
Don't forget our 7th inning stretch coming up here as we get going for that. And so far, pretty good on that cherry note. As right there as the Leonardo Bernal comes in, we'll take a strike. And the count now at 0-1. Don't forget our new series coming up on September 26th. That is Picani with 2-episode series premiere coming up at the end of Texas League Championship playoffs. Which that would be pretty good. That is right there. Cold third strike, and they got him. And there's 2 down.
Second baseman, Ramon Mendoza.
That'll bring in Ramon Mendoza, 1 for 2 double RBI and a run. Ball game going pretty good here tonight as on this Tuesday night, the first one of August. Even though 2 homestands will have Springfield for 6 and Murillo for 6. Evidently our last ever homestand coming in September against the Corpus Christi Hooks. Then we'll wrap up the regular home series there in Springfield. And yes, it will be the last time that we'll play in the regular season. Evidently, we do have our 2026 schedule right now. I got to say, John, you were waiting for that for a whole time. I got to say, Bob, absolutely right. That's going to be right there, line drive, and that's a base hit. Ramon Mendoza gets on.
The center fielder, number 13.
Man, and he hit that baseball pretty hard with everything he got.
Yeah, for sure. Here is Juan Ben Cho. And the pitch right there on the inside for a strike. The count now at 0-1. Usually the native of Japan coming in from Okinawa, where my sister-in-law served in the Army Medics.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she traveled everywhere. First stop, she was in Okinawa, Japan, and then they went to Maryland. Evidently, my dad and family was visiting, and they went to Washington, D.C., them lucky dogs. Well, 7th inning stretch, and San Antonio now leading this ball game 9-4. And so far, that will do it. Kai Roberts will lead it off. Castañon Murphy will be going right there. But anyways, we go through the 7th inning stretch. We'll tell you that story of evidently my sister-in-law going to Maryland. And evidently my dad and stepmother going up there. And first time around went to Washington, D.C. They went to the place where the statue is. And so far, yeah, pretty good site where that one guy is. I'm trying to think of his name. There's a statue, and so far it's him sitting in a chair with his arms right on the armrests. But anyway, pretty good on that. Well, we'll be right back as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. San Antonio leading this game 9-4. And so far, this game is going pretty good. Pretty good new week here for Cardinals and San Antonio Missions as we get ready for this broadcast, and so far pretty good on that. But we'll be right back as we bring you baseball here. Got a lot of Springfield. We got a few Springfield Cardinal fans coming here. And yes, you do see a few jerseys out in the audience tonight. So we have our cameras and everything else. But anyway, pretty good start to a homestand of a 6-game set with Springfield. Don't forget our game 2 tomorrow as we have Military Appreciation Day here at the ballpark, as you show proof of your military ID if you served, or if you're currently retired, you come in the ball game on us. Yeah, I gotta say, John, and so far thank you all for the valiant service of serving our country and making our country great again. And that's one thing that makes our country great, is seeing our Army, men and women that serve in uniform to give us freedoms. And it's also our firefighters, our police, everybody that continues to serve. That is right. Well, 7th inning stretch already over, and we're back at it as Kai Roberts comes in. Boy, he's the 10th run for San Antonio here tonight. That's going to be a ground ball shortstop right there. Throw down to first. They got him. And that's an easy play to record the first down. Marcos Castañon has been on fire. He's 2 for 3, a home run single, 2 RBIs that he had. 1 away in the 5-run ball game, and that is an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Amarillo has a pretty good sizable lead against Midland there at Franco Park. 6-2 Sod Poodles. Tulsa trying to fight back against Corpus Christi, and so far it's top of the 9th inning. There's 3 outs left for the Tulsa Drillers. That is out number 2. And pretty good on that. Man, and seeing Corpus Christi being home, San Antonio being home, Tulsa and Corpus Christi, Springfield and San Antonio. 4 ball clubs going head-to-head in Texas. Now, Frisco is out of town in Arkansas. And Midland taking on the Sod Poodles. Well, that will do. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. Head to the 8th inning. And that'll bring up J.J. Weatherholt, Mogette, and Davis as we get set to go for the top of the 8th for Springfield. We're back after this, and it's a 9-4 ball game. San Antonio leading 5 runs. Top of the 8th inning for Springfield right now on the Mission's Baseball Network. Well, this one, J.J. Weatherholt coming in now facing Gerald Collar. It's Jared. Oh, okay. Thank you, Bob. All right, there's an inside strike. The count now 0-1. Do apologize to Collar. Kollar. And the windup and the pitch right there and outside. The count now 1-1. 2,805 tonight for a Tuesday night, which that is pretty good. Wind up and the pitch. That one is in for the strike, and it's 1-2. Springfield needing 5 runs to rally back in this one. And that's going to be high fly in the air up to left field. Fabian will make the play, and there is one down. Darlin Maquette coming in is 0 for 3, strikeout, fly out, and a ground out. Springfield down final 5 outs. Look, came and talked this evening. The final 5 outs for the Cardinals. 9:05 on this evening as we're now to the top of the 8th inning for Springfield. No balls, 2 strikes right here in the pitch. Cold third strike, got him. Man, and that is a recipe for disaster. Now they're down to their final 4 outs. Chase Davis coming in now, batting a .321 average. And that is a foul ball. San Antonio, boy, they struck for 6 in the bottom of 6, which that was pretty good. 0-1, and that's going to be right there, line drive. And that goes to the right fielder, and that will pretty much do it. Well, we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. San Antonio still leads this game 9-4. Roederer, Fountain, and Reyes will be the ones coming up for the San Antonio 8th inning, and we're back right after these messages. All right, about set to go for the bottom of the 8th inning for San Antonio. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network.
Pitching for Springfield.
Well, Aaron Holiday will be pitching for Springfield.
Aaron Holiday.
Four-seam slider cutter.
Leading off for San Antonio.
Coming in
the
as
designated hitter. Cole.
also he's got a changeup and a sinker. Here's a designated hitter, Cole Roederer, 2 for 3. That's a night. And the first pitch by Aaron Holiday and underway of the bottom half of the 8th inning. Boy, San Antonio ready to hopefully win this one and send the fans home happy. That is right there, line drive, and both outfielders try to give a chase, and that's going to be trouble as it is. Going to first, going to second, and he's going to have a 3 right there. He's in. No out triple by Cole Roederer. Carried a piano on his back, it looks. Reel in the fish already, because that one, you might have got that one by a bass. Man, that was a pretty line drive right there for San Antonio, and that was pretty neat. Yeah, for sure. Third baseman, Cale Fountain, 2 for 3. That's going to be it right there. Line drive, run in to score, and that's a sacrifice to the ground ball. And a run in to score, making it San Antonio 10-4. So now 6 runs ahead of Springfield.
Number 13, second baseman, Ripken.
So that'll bring in the second baseman, Ripken Reyes. 8-hole batter coming in. Yeah, John, I got to say, he's going pretty good tonight. Yeah, right there, fouled off and behind the backstop. And the count now at 0-1. Our new score, San Antonio 10, Springfield 4. What a night it's been. Boy, San Antonio scoring 6 runs, bottom of 6. They've been after it all game long, which that's pretty good. That makes a manager happy. Makes the pitching coaches very happy too. Not just the manager himself, but evidently everybody in that dugout is one thing or another. They are proud of this team tonight. Man, for sure. 0-2. That one's going to be ground ball straightaway center. That's a base hit. Pretty good right there.
Now batting, shortstop.
That was a pretty good one.
Rojas.
Well, that'll bring in Yentry Rojas as he comes in. Anyway, got to find out where our AA scores are at. And so far, Frisco and... Oh, there they go. So we got our final scores coming in. Corpus Christi beats Tulsa 7-5. Arkansas... Look, that gum. I can't even talk this evening. Arkansas beating Frisco 3-0. It's like the second time I did that tonight, but anyway. That one fouled off. The count now 0-2 to the 9-hole shortstop, Yendry Rojas. Rojas usually playing that third base area. Evidently tomorrow he'll be awarded Gold Glove for the vote. And right there, line drive, and that's going to be stopped right there to second for 1, and they do not get him. Okay. So he'll beat it out safely. So that'll be alive for one more San Antonio Mission player. Here is the left fielder, Albert Fabian, who is 2 for 4, 2 singles, RBI, and a run. Trying to get something going here in this half inning. And the pitch right there, swing and miss. The count now 0-1. 12 pitches by the reliever for Springfield, Aaron Holiday. And that one's going to be blistered. That one right there, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Here comes another run. And in the score as Fabian gets an RBI double. And now they are getting up by 11. Boy, and San Antonio, I think they are not finished here. 2 outs, runner at second now. This baseball game is getting away from Springfield. Now 7 runs trailing. Well, I tell you one thing, losing on a road series to San Antonio is not a pretty good idea. Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, Springfield already 62 wins. Well, you think it's 62. It's 64, Bob. Oh, okay. So thank you for correcting me there, John. It's 64 wins, and they lead in first place by a bunch. Yeah, they do. Sinker down and in. The count now 1-2. Boy, Arkansas and Wichita, they are 1.5 game back. Wichita in second place.
2-2 the count.
And the count now at 2-2. 2 out, runner at second. Brandon Valenzuela looks in at Holiday, waiting for the pitch. And here he goes. That one high and outside and load up the count full at 3-2. Hi, Roberts on deck for San Antonio here in this one. And the pitch. That's going to be right there. Out of play foul. Still staying alive for at least one more. Full count now to Valenzuela. And the pitch. Outside, and that is ball 4. Oh, man, you don't want to give up walks early in this game. Well, it's not early, Bob. It'd be later. It's late, and here comes the manager. So that will do for Aaron Holiday, and so far that will pretty much call the end of his evening. After staying in a few innings, not doing too good tonight.
Number 47.
That'll bring in Sam Broderson. 4-seam splitter, slider, and a cutter for the new arm on the hill for Springfield. That is Sam Broderson. Here is Kai Roberts. 2 out, 2 on for the Missions here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that one is a high pop-up right there, out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. So Arkansas trailing a game against Wichita, a bunch against Springfield. Boy, and not a good night for the Cardinals as they're trailing now 7 runs. And that will pretty much do for this half inning is over. A bunch of runs, at least by 3. And so far that will conclude the bottom half of the 8th inning. And we're on now to the 9th as Trey Page, Jordan, and Levinson comes in for Springfield right after this. Well, it was 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and at least nobody left on base after that. That for sure. Okay, thanks, Bob. Well, top of the 9th coming in, and do apologize for the little bit confusion right there. And so far, we will be right back in our live broadcast of Texas League Baseball on this Tuesday night. And, yep, so far we need to go ahead and get some scores going on. Corpus Christi winning their 38th against Tulsa. And boy, I tell you one thing, that is not good when you get down and see the Drillers get clobbered like that. And we'll say it came in at a costly value. You know, the Arkansas Travelers now tying up against the Wichita Wind Surge as they beat the Frisco Rough Riders. Frisco now 51 even in their win and loss record. So far, pretty good on that. Well, anyway, thinking Amarillo has Midland on the run as we all look at it. 6-2, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Northwest Arkansas now in front, top of the 8th against Wichita at 7-6. Evidently, if the Wind Surge lose this one, then they'll be 54-48. But if they can find a way to get back in it and try to win this ball game there at the porch, then they'll get up 55 and put Arkansas right to third place. Northwest Arkansas making a little bit of a push. That's a pretty good thing. That they need the rest of this season. You know, they have their homestand against Wichita, and so far they need to continue that win streak by a bunch. Tulsa up in Corpus Christi. They need a lot of work done, and so far they need to get something going. Amarillo and Midland, we're going to talk about them in just for a few seconds. Boy, they are really getting going for a 50-50 in wins for both of those teams, which that is pretty good. About set to go for the bottom of the 9th inning for San Antonio, and so far it is a 7-run ball game for the Missions here tonight, and Springfield down to their final 3 outs. Trey Page, Jordan, and Levinson will get things going for the top of the 9th. That's going to be a liner straightaway up this left center field, and Roberts will quickly intercept that fastball. And pretty good on that as they come in.
Now batting, the first baseman, Blaze Jordan.
Well, that'll bring up Blaze Jordan. Jordan coming in, ready to go. Hits that one out of play, foul near the backstop. And the count now at 0-1. 0 for 3, a strikeout and a pop out. This homestand continuing tomorrow night, 7:05, our first pitch, as we have Military Appreciation Night Wednesday, as we salute those in uniform. And those that have military IDs and those that are retired get in the ball game for free, which that is pretty good. Thursday, we'll continue the series. Flying Chanclas in town taking on Springfield, including Friday as well. Saturday, we'll have a drone show after the ball game. So far, post-game fireworks have been canceled due to the no rain, and evidently pretty bad on that. So the first out in center field comes in as
The designated hitter, Zach.
the center fielder gets in there and grabs that one out of midair. Zach Levinson coming in as 0 for 3, grounded out in the second inning. San Antonio 11, Springfield 4. Runner at first, 1 away. Levinson at the plate for the Cardinals. Takes that one in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Springfield's last day here is Sunday, which will have a evening ball game, and then our road travel to Tulsa after that. Here's the 0-1, and that's down and outside. The count now 1-1. Beautiful shot of San Antonio downtown as well. Tower of Americas, which is also lighted up during Christmas time. That one is high, pop up right there and out of play. The count now at 1-2. We'll say the Springfield Cardinals will also be dressing up in Springfield, well, the Cardinals. And that's a swing and a miss. Got him. And they're down against it. They're the final out of their road game here tonight. That'll bring up Leonardo Bernal. Bernal coming in. Runner at first here in this one. And that's going to be right there. Chaston Young gets it. And that is the ball game. San Antonio winning their 60th of the season. Which that right there was pretty good. Springfield getting their 39th. And so far festivities come to an end. Well, we thank y'all for coming in. Jagger Haynes gets the win. Gerard Kolar gets the save. Frank Illisault gets the loss for the Cardinals. And so far, pretty good ball game. San Antonio, boy, they came in and they got it going. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. That was pretty good. Yeah, I got to say, John, it has been a perfect ball game ever since. And San Antonio now leading 11 wins against the Frisco Rough Riders. And yeah, so far pretty good on that as well. Yeah. Well, you think it's 9, so it's 9.5 games back for the Rough Riders. That's pretty good right there. Well, anyway, Kyle Fountain is 2 for 4, a home run and 4 RBIs tonight. As he's also the player of the game, and they're doing an interview with him right now as we speak. So 4 teams remaining: Northwest Arkansas, Wichita, Amarillo, and Midland going at it this evening. We'll say it is the top of the 9th inning there in Franco Park. The Sod Poodles and Rockhounds going at it right now, and so far finalized the final in this ball game was 11-4, which that's a pretty good ball game. But anyways, we'll still be waiting for our final results of our final 4 ball clubs. And boy, it looks like Northwest Arkansas and Wichita now tied 7. So it is evidently a foot race to get something going. Yeah, for sure, John. Gotta say it is. Anyway. Pretty good night thus far for this team and for San Antonio itself getting into this broadcast. Cannot wait for a Wednesday night ball game and so far for the rest of this series and homestand. That evidently pretty good on that. Yeah, I gotta say, John, it was a pretty good one. Man, what is going on with that one guy? Just honk his horn, honk, 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 you know? Yeah, but anyway, we got the Cardinals coming in for Thursday and Friday, I do believe. Anyway, Saturday we'll have our post-game drone show afterwards. Sunday we'll wrap it up and we'll be up in Tulsa after Sunday's game. Can't believe it. We'll be down to the final 2 homestands. That is between Amarillo and Corpus Christi. But anyway, we're going to continue to be on the air as we're waiting for a final result of our 2 ball clubs. They're pretty good on that. Well, toast to a big win, right, Bob? There, I gotta say, cheers. Thank you. And nothing beats a pretty good soda than Dr. Pepper. Well, we want to thank everybody that came into our broadcast this evening, and So far, just to know that Military Appreciation Night is tomorrow night for our members. And as I said before, that proof of military ID comes in. And military members and police officers, they get in. Firefighters, they can also get in, enjoy the game as well, including first responders. Well, anyway, gotta say, pretty good night thus far, and San Antonio winning all wins this one by final. Let's go ahead, give your final scores. San Antonio, 11 runs, 16 hits, and 1 error. And for the Springfield Cardinals, it's 4-7-0, with Frank Illisault being the loss tonight for Springfield. Kyle Fountain is 2 for 4, a home run, 4 RBIs. Jagger Haynes will be the winner of tonight's ball game, and so far pretty good on that. You know, I could hear somebody saying ha ha, ha ha. Look like Wichita up now 8-7 against Northwest Arkansas. You know, Bob, I gotta say, it would be pretty neat to see 5-on-5. What would you think?
Yeah, I gotta say, John, that'd be pretty good. You know, if you had Amarillo taking on Northwest Arkansas and Wichita taking on Midland, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, well, everybody takes on a North Division rival, which that would be really cool. But don't know if that will ever happen. I mean, that would be pretty cool if it did. But anyway, boy, a pretty good night tonight, and boy, so far we saw a beautiful sunset. It was a partly cloudy day, but evidently temperature was at 94 degrees. We're down to 89, with mostly clear skies, with hotter temperatures by tomorrow and Thursday. 101 on Friday, and so far that is pretty hot, if you do say so. But anyway, for those that play afternoon games on Sunday, we want everybody to make sure that you're staying hydrated. It's always best to watch out for yourselves during these hotter days. The month of August and September are the most crucial months in baseball. And evidently it will get hot. I mean, believe you or me, it really does. But anyway, we thank y'all for tuning in to this broadcast. And so far, we will see y'all tomorrow evening for Game 2 of the 6-game set against Springfield. For all of us, myself and Bob, well, we thank y'all for coming in.
Yes, and also, hope everybody understands that driving home is always important.
That is for sure. You listen to Bob, folks. All right, everybody, have a good night, and we'll see y'all soon.